Good evening. This is Rashad Mitchell coming to you live from my YouTube channel. So I continue on my part series, the week that was college football history review, the 1980 college football season for week 11. Games that were played during November 15th, 1980, week 11. Here we go. Georgia, the number one team in the country, beat Auburn 31-21, facing Auburn team that had knocked them out with Sugar Bowl 1977, 1978. The Bulldogs clearly were inspired. Auburn refused to let tailback Herschel Walker beat them, holding freshman sensation to 77 yards rushing. A single spectacular moment, 18-yard touchdown run that began as sweep to the left but ended with Walker in right side of end zone. Georgia quarterback Buck Belue carried day, completing 10 of 19, 99 yards, passing, touchdown, and adding 77 yards on the ground. Play that blue game open was blocked punt by Bulldogs linebacker Greg Bell that was returned 27 yards by defensive end Freddie Gilbert for 10-7 lead. Bulldogs later raced upfield with aid of two interference penalties that closed the first half. With 9 seconds left, Belue fumbled at 1 yard line while refs determined possession, lined up offense. Belue beat the clock and 1 second remained, throwing touchdown pass to tight end Norris Brown, who later admitted he had never practiced pattern he ran. Protesting, Auburn bench was assessed 15-yard penalty that encouraged Georgia to successfully try onside kickoff to open second half. Belue scored from 1 yard out moments later, and Georgia went on to build 31-7 lead. So Tigers quarterback Charles Thomas twice made touchdown passes to wide receiver Byron Franklin to made score a representative. After all, Georgia dominated only in big play category. Bulldogs kicker Rex Robinson became SEC's all-time leading scorer with 261 points. Notre Dame, the number 6 team in the country, beat number 5 Alabama 7-0. So neither offense seemed to want to win the game, with contest only touchdown occurring after quarterbacks lost fumbles on 3 straight possessions. Notre Dame quarterback punter Blair Kiel punted Alabama deep, and quarterback Don Jacobs lost handoff fumble. Kiel then turned ball over on Alabama 1 yard line with Irish knocking on door. Moments later, Jacobs lost 2-second fumble before Notre Dame finally scored on a 2-yard run by halfback Phil Carter. Freshman quarterback Walter Lewis led Crimson Tide downfield before linebacker Bob Crable made brilliant stop of halfback Lenny Patrick for no gain on 4th and 1 sweep. So Crable in on 20 tackles led way for inspired Notre Dame defense that posted first shutout of Tide in Alabama since 1958. Stretched streak to 5 games of which it had not surrendered a touchdown. Bama, on the other hand, the defense shown as well, surrendering only 5th touchdown and mere 192 yards, as linebacker Thomas Boyd and safety Tommy Wilcox each had 19 tackles. Irish moved to 4-0 all-time versus Alabama, with outcome becoming biggest margin of victory after 3 prior wins by a total of 6 points. Next, Michigan. Michigan, the number 11 team in the country, beat and shut out Purdue 26-0. Passing combination of quarterback John Wangler and wide receiver Anthony Carter produced Michigan touchdowns on passes of 22 yards and 20 yards, while Wolverines defensive coordinator Bill McCartney devised a 4-1-6 formation that thwarted Purdue quarterback Mark Herman. Herman completed 21-34 but could only amass 129 yards passing. Wow. Throwing 3 interceptions to the safety Tony Jackson, and being kept off the scoreboard in Michigan's third straight shutout. Boilermakers failed to make first downs to end second half as Herman threw for only 25 yards while being sacked 3 times. Fullback Stan Edwards paced Wolverines' ground attack with career high 164 yards with 3-yard touchdown. Texas Tech beat Southern Methodist by a score of 14-0. Odd season for Red Raiders continued as they wrapped wins over bowl-bound Texas SMU around loss to lowly TCU. Texas Tech defense, led by defensive tackle Gabriel Rivera and safety Tate Rindle, dominated Mustangs' offense that had 27 points per game average. Balance of Red Raiders rushed for 140 yards, and quarterback Ron Reeves passed for 143 yards, produced pair of second quarter touchdowns that stood up once fourth quarter snowstorm blew in. Reeves opened scoring with 12-yard touchdown pass to running back Jamie Harris before setting up second score with 38 yards completion to Davin Harris off tip by Pony's quarterback. cornerback John Simmons. Fullback Freddie Wells followed with 1 yard touchdown run. Tailback Eric Dickerson rushed for 91 yards to lead Mustangs while defense prevented further damage with the third quarter goal line stand. Next, Oklahoma, the number 10 team in the country, defeated Missouri by a score of 17-7. Now, it was Oklahoma freshman halfback Buster Rhymes' turn to shine as he rushed for 32 yards and 2 touchdowns. Sooners grabbed 10-0 lead in the second quarter as Rhymes scored from 5 yards out and kicker Michael Killing connected on 35-yard field goal. Score remained 10-0 until fourth quarter when Rhymes burst for 55-yard scoring jaunt. Missouri, meanwhile, scored late to avoid a shutout on 12-yard quarterback Phil Bradley to halfback Bob Meyer touchdown pass with just more than 1 minute left. Bradley threw for 105 yards and rushed for 41 yards. Oklahoma beat Missouri 17-7. Next, Brigham Young, number 13 team in the country, beat Colorado State 45-14. Quarterback Jim McMahon set 4 NCAA records and tied two others as Cougars beat Colorado State to wrap up the WAC title. Jim McMahon threw 5 touchdowns, 441 yards passing for 23 of 33 passing. McMahon, who hit his first 7 attempts, including a 71-yard touchdown pass to wide receiver Lloyd Jones, set marks for passing yards and total offense in season. He extended records of consecutive 300-yard games and 400-yard games. BYU tight end Clay Brown caught 2 touchdowns, and defensive end Brad Arnay added 45-yard interception for a touchdown. Last but not least, Washington beat Southern California, the number 2 team in the country, 20-10. Quarterback Ray Horton's third quarter 73-yard punt return for a touchdown snapped a 3-3 tie and propelled Huskies to the Pac-10 title. Washington defense allowed 216 yards to tailback Marcus Allen, 404 yards to USC offense, to 212 yards total offense by Huskies, but counted with 8 forced turnovers, including 2 interceptions by linebacker Tony Caldwell. Allen had well-rounded day for Trojans as he threw for the team's sole touchdown, 36-yard scoring pass to wide receiver Jeff Simmons, but he injured right on with 8 minutes left. Meanwhile, Trojans reserve tailback Anthony Gibson lost fourth-quarter fumble at Huskies' 8-yard line. USC quarterback Gordon Adams had already been knocked out with knee injury. As a replacement, quarterback Scott Tinsley threw 3 interceptions and lost fumble at Washington 29-yard line in the fourth quarter. And lost snap Troy's 28-game unbeaten streak. Lost snap Troy's 28-game unbeaten streak as far as USC is concerned, and marked Huskies' first win in the LA Coliseum since 1964. So that concludes a look at the week that was College Football History Review, the 1980 college football season, week number 11, November 15th, 1980, week 11. Let's get the AP poll. Number 20 was Texas, 19 Florida, 18 UCLA, 17 Mississippi State, 16 Washington, 15 North Carolina, 14 South Carolina, 13 Brigham Young, 12 Southern California, 11 Baylor. Number 10 Michigan, 9 Oklahoma, 8 Alabama, 7 Penn State, 6 Pittsburgh. Number 5 Ohio State, number 4 Nebraska, number 3 Notre Dame, number 3 Florida State, number 2 Notre Dame, and number 1 Georgia. So that concludes a look at week 11 College Football History Review, the 1980 college football season. Check to make sure it's week 11. I'll go over, make sure. Yes, 11. This is week 11. The games I played on November the 15th, 1980, week 11. The week that was College Football History Review, the 1980 college football season. So please like, subscribe, and comment on the channel. Once again, Texas was number 20, Florida 19, UCLA 18, 17 Mississippi State, 16 Washington, 15 South Carolina, 14 South Carolina, 15 North Carolina, Brigham Young 13, 12 Southern California, 11 Baylor, the top 10 Michigan 10, 9 Oklahoma, 8 Alabama, 7 Penn State, 6 Pittsburgh, 5, Ohio State. 4, Nebraska. 3, Florida State. Number 2, Notre Dame. And number 1, Georgia. Please like, subscribe, and comment on the channel. We'll reveal this magnitude tomorrow. Until then, talk to you soon.